Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Life Theories. Thank you for joining us today for this awesome chat about ascension and what is going on the other side of the veil, how we're dealing with all of the shifts in the universe and on the planet, and the shifts in energy in general, and just how we're navigating through that. So today's chat, I'll be joined by Jay from Journey of a White Feather and Miss Diana from Trailblazers of the Universe, as always. Potentially, we might get a drop-in from Cortez from Spiritual Needs TV if he decides to join us. But if not, that's okay too. And so welcome to the chat today, guys. Thanks for joining. If you like what we're doing, share with a friend and like and follow. Let's get into it. So, Jay, you look like you're ascending right now, to be honest. What's going on over there?
Yeah. I know what I did.
He has his shades
what
on.
I did was, so
You
I
look
put
Shining
mine,
so bright.
You're looking
I'm
into the light there,
Oh my
bud. What's
God.
going on?
Well, I've decided to put the Night Wolf costume away and go and look for a Doctor Strange outfit.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Well, I'll have to. If I don't laugh and don't make jokes, I'll fucking cry. Basically, so pretty much the last few weeks it's been it's like going into the multiverse. It's just weird. It's like you watch a lot. You sort of look at people in this industry or in this world, and you look at someone like a John Edward and all those kind of things. You go, oh my God, what's going on there? What's going on in their head? How do they feel? How do they do it? And I'm going, and that's exactly where I'm at. And then I go and put. I watched Doctor Strange when it first came out. And I thought it was a very deep spiritual movie. If you look at, he's actually going through a spiritual awakening. Excuse me. He's got a twin flame soulmate connection with someone. It's really bizarre that the topics and the topics about of what we talk about was back in, I think it was 2018, something like that they came out. But what a great movie. And when I did watch it, I was on this journey. I think I was going through my actual spiritual awakening at the time. And now I've gone through the second coming of it. We'll leave it at that. And I'm watching this going, oh my God, I'm living Doctor Strange. I'm ascending. I'm going to have to get the red cape. It's just amazing. It's just, wow. It's credit to the makers of these movies, especially the Doctor Strange movie, that they picked up on all these things that we talk about. So
yeah.
And because we're more ascended or more aware or whatever it may be, or whatever the messages that are coming through from the universe as such, it's a real good thing to actually watch and understand. But and you can watch a movie 2 years ago and have an opinion, but then of course you grow as a person. And I'm watching this thing going, I'm sitting there going, rightio, okay. So what do you say? Basically, you're telling me to go and get a Doctor Strange outfit. I'm sitting there. I have to laugh, I'll cry. That's the way it is.
It's funny, actually, the very first session, the first sentence you said, you mentioned the name John Edward. I just watched the South Park episode literally before we sat down here, where they have John Edward on talking about how he's a big phony. Yeah, I'm just like, why are you saying that name? It's such
because
a
we're
phony.
all connected.
I know, but still, it's kind of like.
This is all the synchronicities, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That are obviously we won't go into too much. We laugh, but the synchronicity. When I think when you actually fully step into your step in, I step through the door and trust. I think the easiest way to do it is, I think I remember a scene in Tarzan when he was looking down a crevice type thing and he jumped. And now I understand. And I got shivers when I saw that. I just sort of had a very a funny feeling when it happened, because I knew it was something to do with me. Because I was just sort of getting into this stuff. But now I look back on it, that was, my God, yeah, okay, that means you're actually jumping and trusting and believing in yourself and what you're doing and all this stuff that we've been doing. And it's meant to be, because you always wanted it, now you've got it. Now
you literally have to trust there's something that's going to catch you, basically.
Yeah, and that too. And then well, basically trust in what you're in all these things that are happening, the synchronicities and all those kind of things, the numbers, the messages, and all that stuff that you do think you're getting. You got to trust in it, and you really got to, instead of trying to dissect it in a way of, oh my God, why is this happening? You actually accept it and go, okay, what is the relevance of it? Why is it here? What's going on? And I mean, some people overthink it. Yes, I know I'm overthinking because I'm excited about where it is, but I know there's always a reason why the universe wants you to do something. You're always guided to something, and you got to believe in that journey. It could be the hardest thing in your life. Hint, 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 hint. Glasses, but bloody glasses. There you go. Put the bloody in there for you. But that's just that's how I'm looking at it there. So yeah. Anyway, tag Diane. What do you reckon?
What do I reckon?
What do you bloody reckon, mate?
I like when you say reckon. Oh goodness. Well, I guess
instead of you're off with the reckon.
I guess when I'm just noticing, I think a lot of our spiritual gifts are being enhanced. Some people we've already had these things, right? But we're connecting. We came on Earth for a certain reason, but now the veil's thinner. We're doing a lot of healing, so now it's kind of like I think of it like a video game kind of. It's like unlocking a new level, and with the new level comes new challenges because the more you're raising your consciousness vibration, you have a wider perspective of your reality, right, and of everything. And so because you're having a wider perspective of it, you've expanded your consciousness, so you're seeing things from different lights, different perspectives that you didn't see it before. I think that's what I'm really seeing. I'm literally seeing like timeline shift. Like I'm seeing things like shift so quick. Like I'm seeing how I make a decision and shit, or I change the way I'm thinking and I'm feeling, and it manifests a completely different reality. And the way I'm responding to it, I'm really aware of. Like the way, they say the way you respond to a situation has the power to change it, right? But literally, I'm seeing it. And because we're raising our vibration, we're manifesting quicker too. So that means both the good and the negative. I don't like to say negative really, but because you learn from those experiences. But what you're putting your intentions on, like your focus, your energy on, that stuff manifesting really quick. Now, the good thing about it is it can shift really quick. So even though you're in a negative spiral, right? The second I see myself get out of it, my reality, like, I'm not saying I'm like in a different world all of a sudden, but it's like my reality literally shifts. The people are responding to me differently. I almost feel like it's a completely different situation, all because I shifted, because I realize how powerful the way I'm thinking and feeling are, and that's why there's such a attempt to control the way we think and feel, because that's how they collectively create the reality they want, right? And now people are all waking up. This is a mass awakening. I don't know if you saw, even on TikTok, I'm seeing what's going on in other countries now, how they're protesting. I'm seeing in France and there's a bunch of different countries I'm seeing on TikTok that are all going against things that have been going on for the past few years. And I think they don't want the U.S. doing it, to even though our economy is collapsing and stuff, pretty much. There's a lot going on there. So I'm researching more into it. But so for the U.S., it's a lot of the chaos, what I talked about before, the shadow work. People who haven't done shadow work, or don't want to do healing, don't want to do the work, don't want to do any of that deep, dark stuff. It's like they're being bombarded to the point because the earth is shifting in frequency, right? So you have to kind of go with that flow, right? The people that are resisting it, they're struggling. They're like getting pounded with stuff. I see people I know, I see friends, I see people in the world, and that's why it's chaotic. And even though you want to help some of these people, some of these people have made their choice. I'm not saying people can't change, but there's some people that are literally, they're going to be dragged down with the ship. They're going down with the sinking ship, and they're going to try to bring anyone down with them. So you just have to, we want to help people. We still have to keep our boundaries, because there's some people they really don't want to, and that's part of their soul's path too. I don't know. We all have past lives, right? Where we look over Jackie, like we had things we had to learn, and some people, I think that's what maybe their path is. Not everyone is doing what we're doing on the planet, and like what Solomon said in our video, he said, right, we were once NPCs too, right? So I'm not saying they're hopeless or anything, but some people we have to let them go and understand that they're choosing a certain way and their soul is choosing that for a certain reason. There might be karma involved. There's things that we don't, and it can be hard. But I just know there's some people I have to let go, It's not easy.
Would you find that, hey, Di, I wanted to ask you, because I had that conversation yesterday. I was out with my best mate, the singer of our band, and me and him were brothers, and we were family in past life. I don't know where and when, but it's just like bloody hell, just those things. Do you think with what you're saying with people like? I think we just worked out there's Earth Angels and Earth Warriors, White Lighters, whatever you want to call it, that are brought onto this earth to actually really help move the needle. I think that all of us have done it, like you, me, Sarah, Cortez, Jackie, Solomon, for starters. Okay, there's probably others, but this is just our little group. Do you think that what you're seeing and with people are just absolutely struggling when they don't have the awareness? Like, obviously, we're ascending higher, Doctor Strange side, but yeah, it's so. Oh my, Sarah, when you watch it, you'll understand. You'll go, okay, Jay, I understand.
I watched the second one. I kind of.
No, the first one. No, it's the first one.
I know. I gotta watch the first one.
First one. But do you think that with your greater understanding, you can sort of see, and this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not being an egomaniac here. We're standing we're standing above people. We can see the chaos, what's going on. We can feel it. We can see people in there, not understanding what's going on. They think they're living in that ego. And I think that, the ascension, what we're doing, we're letting our egos go and feeling what we're feeling, becoming more part of the universe in that way. But they don't, people, when you walk into a place and go, I'm spiritual, I go, no, you're bloody well not. You might like it, you might like the concept, but you got no bloody idea. Do you think a lot of people are being forced to wake up and they won't because their ego won't let them? What do you think?
Yeah.
Both
of you, yeah. Sorry.
I know the question was directed at Diana, but I've definitely got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, go
for it.
With a lot of the soul retrieval work that I've been doing, I'm going to bring up some of the stuff. My girl, Amy Miranda, shout out Amy. Thank you so much for your help with all of the stuff that I've been going through lately. Basically, what she was saying is it's all about the work that you're willing to put in. So it is 100% up to us and our choices, what timeline we're going to end up on, where we are going to be. Every choice we make dictates what frequency we're on, what timeline we're going to jump to. So for me, doing the soul retrieval that I did with Amy, and a little bit, it started with Jackie, actually. And that's something that Diana pointed out to me, was like, no, Jackie started that by calling your soul back after the Akashic Records reading. That was the first stage of this. And then I met Amy, and then we went even deeper into it. But yeah, it's basically all about the choices that you make, because you can do the soul retrieval, you can have the fragments come back to you. But if when they hit, you start noticing things and do nothing about it continue to live the same way, you're not actually stepping into the next version of yourself. You might have done the process of the session with the soul retrieval, but you're not done the work. You're not done the work until your choices and your priorities align with what your soul is trying to tell you in that session. So if you're getting all this information, like say you're being called to let go of something, but you desperately cling to it, that soul fragment's not going to reintegrate because you're not making room for it to come in. You're clinging to the old, you're stuck on your old frequency, you're stuck on the other side of the veil of what's waiting for you because you're not making the right choices that align you with that part of your soul. So it's one thing to have the veil lifted and be like, oh, it's asking me to do this, this, and this, and then to actually do those steps, than it is to be like, oh yeah, I see what I'm supposed to do, but I don't want to. And you just go off continuing living your life the way you are because it's comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the choice some people make, right? And some people just will choose that. They will choose to stay the same. They will choose to stay where their comfort zone is instead of taking the plunge and doing the Doctor Strange type thing and really being like, okay, I see there's a thread here that could be pulled. If I pull this thread, the whole sweater might completely unravel. And that could be a really good thing, because maybe I didn't need this sweater anymore, or that could be absolutely totally devastating to me because that's my favorite sweater. But maybe there's no, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's your choice whether you're going to pull that thread or not and see what happens on the other side of it, or to just let that thread dangle and keep moving on your daily life. You know what I mean?
It's like what you said before, like, you know, yeah, we're aligning with particular thing. I was going to say, Diana, you're looking. Both of you girls have ascended. And I can see in your voice, Diana, your voices and your demeanor has just changed in the last say 8 weeks, especially. You're just you're really growing as a spiritual person. I'll just put it in that way. But your demeanor is and the way you're talking, you're calmer, and it's unbelievable. Your change. You just gone from what
it's releasing what she just said. I released an environment that something was tagging it on, and I kept being. I was made so uncomfortable. It's like, hey, are you going to put up with this? Are you really going to stay here? You know, this doesn't resonate. You know, where I was living.
Yes.
So that was a big thing for me. And kind of going past any blocks with worried about money and stuff like that. It's that kind of stuff too. Worrying about abundance, just like stepping into just trusting the process that it's going to work out.
And that's a big thing, isn't it? It's trusting the process.
Yeah,
like I'm writing,
taking a leap and trusting, even with him, same thing. That's a big leap. And
it's taking a leap. It's It's taking the leap in a lot of things. I'll say when I did my session with Sarah, I could see how I was doing a lot of learning, but I look at what I'm writing on my boards now, and it's very simple. Okay, like the big thing Sarah taught me was I already have everything I need. Everything I already have everything my heart desires. It's simple. I am beautiful and perfect just as I am. That's all you need in life. I was complicating it, but not complicating it, but I was learning. You know what I mean? You learn, you know, and it's still coming from a learner's point of view. Like you're going up your grades, so you're not like you're going up. You graduate. You graduate at one time and then you graduate somewhere else. It's just the time span of learning what you got to do. So I'm looking at it now for me, and I'm using just simple words: detach, let go, flow, trust, love, believe, worth, vulnerable, boundaries, hurt, heal. Okay, follow my path. What else I got there? Be free, choice, peace of mind. There you go. That's all I need. It's simple. My mate told me, my brother from another mother just said you can write all this stuff, but what he does in the morning, he looks at somebody and goes, I'm a beautiful soul. And he ticks that. That's all he needs. And that's all we need. We believe in that one thing.
A lot of times.
So that's what you taught me, Sarah. So I appreciate that. You really, with our session, that's what I really got something out of that. You really pulled a lot out of a lot of the tension out what was going on. But as I said, what I'm going through is also, you know, healing. I just hear a contradiction to what I said before we went on air. It is healing me a lot.
Yeah.
With what we're doing. Yeah. So it's a Doctor Strange time. I use that. Sorry guys, I use that all the time. That's the only way I can describe it.
You and your superheroes, man.
Me and my superheroes.
Whatever helps you understand. Whatever helps you. Whatever works. Man.
Yeah, whatever resonates for you, that makes sense to you, right? Because a lot of the times, like, especially when you have that inner tension, we find a way to overcomplicate it so that it makes it in our mind okay for us to not do the work because, oh, that's really hard, or oh, that's really scary, when it doesn't really have to be. So we get these inner blocks that actually keep us from progressing because in that tension, we see things worse than they really are. When really, if you can just remove the tension, look at it for what things are, you got to keep it simple. It's not as crazy intense as everybody says that it is to jump in and start doing the work. Like a lot of times we try to overcomplicate it simply so that we can avoid it. It like makes it make sense and makes the avoidance make sense in our head. It's like, oh, well, I don't really get it because
it helps you self-sabotage it too.
Yeah. It's part of what your energy centers are trying to do to keep you safe, quote unquote. So it will create these blockages for you and these thoughts of that's too hard, or ooh, there's too much there. That's too.
Well, that's self-sabotage, isn't it? Like I was told by my astrologer I'm a massive self-sabotager, and now as I said to you, it's like going into the next dimension or next multiverse, however you want to call it. And I've taken all that on, and I think because I'm very analytical and I want to find out why I pushed it too much. So you're not going with the flow, and really you're really attaching yourself to the outcome. There's nothing wrong with getting a vision and going, okay, that's okay, but it's how you attach that outcome. So you can still have feelings and whatever it may be, but it's how you attach that outcome. Whether you attach that outcome or use that vision or whatever it may be to become a better person. Wanted to ask you girls quickly, vision boards.
Yeah.
Something we haven't really brought up. Do you guys have vision boards?
My entire mirror is a vision board.
Because only reason I ask is because a lot of people that I'm seeing on social media and stuff and all that, something about vision boards has come out. I've always had one with a green piece of paper with pictures. I use pictures, and I looked at my old vision board and I go, yeah, guess what? I did all that. It was amazing. I looked at it, I've gone, realistically, I did all that.
Yeah.
I had to look at it, I've gone, I've done, if not most of it, And now I had to go, like when I went through what I'm going through, I've gone, new vision board, and I'm looking at it now, and I've gone, very interesting change in some ways with the pictures that I'm using. What do you guys think of vision boards?
I love my vision board. I've got, I started doing something when I get home from my little vacation. I'm going to be borrowing a little printer from a friend of mine that prints out like digital copies of like Polaroid pictures.
Yep.
So when he gives me that, or when he comes and lets me borrow that, I really poorly photoshopped some pictures of my head on people's bodies doing physical positions I can't physically do.
Oh, really?
And they're funny. I'm gonna put them on my Instagram too because they're hilarious. Actually, yeah. I love them. They're like it's like my head's like a little big, and some of them like the proportions are all wrong, but it's like it helps me visualize myself in that position. So I'm gonna print it out like a real Polaroid photograph. I'm gonna put it on my vision board. That's part of it for me. Is like I want to be in that body that can do those things. A lot of what my vision board has on it right now is because it is my mirror. From what I hear in feng shui, anything that you put in front of a mirror will reflect back to you and like reflect into your life. So I've got a $20 bill because I want more money in my life. I've got those pictures of my health. The whole left side is just all sticky notes with like affirming phrases, things I'd like to like come to fruition into my life. I absolutely like yeah, awesome. You've got like a vision corner, a vision wall. Yeah. And yeah, like my vision board is basically just all that, right? It's got the money. I even printed out on Canva. I took like my bank statement and I changed, like I took a PDF of my bank statement and I changed a bunch of the numbers in it. And I'm going to print that out too, so that it looks like my bank account's always full. And I'm seeing my bank account with my bank account numbers with the numbers I want to see in my bank account. So like I'm doing everything from like physical body to financial to like calling in the house that I want. Like I've got little like, I have this really extravagant photo of a bathtub that's made out of rose quartz. It's like an actual sit-in chunk of rose quartz that is a bathtub. It's ridiculously expensive, but it's like, no, I want that in my house one day. So I put it on my vision board. And like, I've got everything like that, like from healed body photos to money to bank account stuff. Like it's covered. I've got it all covered, everything that I want to come to fruition. And interestingly enough, there was something that I had started like during a full moon ritual. I asked, what can I do to call in more paying clients into my thing? So I've got a little Post-it note that says paying clients, and then the 4 things that I learned I need to do to call in more clients. I started doing those things, and then a client of mine booked like a 12-session package with me. And that was the first time I had like sold a 12-session package in over a year. And so it's like, and I would look at that every single day, and I like, what had no expectation of who it was going to be. And like, I've got little like post-it notes of like, this is my ideal client. This is what they're like. These are their likes and dislikes. This is what they tolerate and what they don't. This is what they're looking for. This is what they're missing in their life. This is what they have in their life. And like, I basically have this full workup of like an archetype of my ideal client on my vision board as well. And yeah, it's like the moment that I started doing that and really focusing on that, I started actually getting more interest in my services. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really funny with that one that you've gone into the detail. They always say you should be specific with your goals, but I think before you can become specific with your goals and stuff, you got to be trusting in your own body. So I'm looking at. I wrote that thing I just showed you. I had that up since I got here 5 years ago, and now it's actually come into relevance. Now I've written a lot of the I ams. So I was writing I am back 5 years ago before I had my spiritual awakening. So I'm saying I am a successful and talented author. So I'm already writing this stuff. I was writing it 5 years ago. It's a case of working with yourself to get to that point where you look at it now and go, yep, I am. Right, and that's where I am. That's where it's amazing that you have the journey, and it's taken so long to get to look at one of those, looking at that piece of paper that you wrote a while ago and go, right, yeah, I am actually. Yeah. I wrote those 5 years ago, and now I've done the work, and where I'm at the moment, I can actually go, yeah, let's start that process. You know, that's the next process. They say, you know, like you said, you're being directed and I want this type of client or that. At the moment with me, there's nothing wrong with that. At the moment, I'm doing it. My lesson is to trust myself and trust source. So basically connecting with source and trusting that so I can just move through. And I'll be able to do that, what you're doing in maybe in about 6 to 12 months time, maybe. Because at the moment, it doesn't feel right for me. Even doing the cards, I've got certain cards up there. I know I've got to do them, but at the moment, we're focusing on that. And and this is where your inner trust comes. You don't self-sabotage and do 150 different things, which I used to do. But you focus on those one things. You go, right, I've got to get this done. And especially where I am at the moment, which you both know, that's what I've got to do. And you just got to trust when you step through that door. Or take that leap of faith, and I haven't taken the leap of faith unless the first time I really took a real through leap of faith was only a few weeks ago. I mean, you do things for what you are and you're guided, but taking a true leap of faith for something that taking a true leap of faith in yourself when you know you're going to lose something that you really wanted. That's when you really know you've ascended Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you shifted Doctor Strange.
Yeah, man.
Oh, when you watch it, ladies and gentlemen, we go and watch it and then look. You watch it once, watch it twice, but look at the messages.
Well, I just wanted to touch on before you started talking about the Doctor Strange thing too, is like with the affirmations, like putting the trust in, right? Like I have another card or post-it note on my mirror that says desire, dedication, and trust. So it's like, what do you desire? What are you dedicated to reaching? And how much trust are you putting into the achievement of that? So every morning I read all of my little post-it notes and I write in my journal, some of my things that came to me that are really standing out from what my desires are on my mirror. And then at the bottom, I sign it. I have the desire to reach these goals. I'm dedicated, and the action step I'm going to take today to put myself on this trajectory is this. And I trust in the process, and I trust the universe will provide me with this or something better. And that's how I end it. And then I write, so be it, so it is, and I sign my name, and that's the end of it. But every single day I say, I have desire, and I have dedication. This is how I'm physically going to show my dedication. I'm going to put my trust in this. I believe I'll receive this or something better. And then I show gratitude for that. And that's how I bring it into fruition without putting too much pressure on the outcome, because saying this or something better leaves you open to the universe providing, let's say the desire that you have written isn't 100% on your path. It leaves it open to putting something that is supposed to be in your path there without pigeonholing yourself too much, right?
We're going through some really, well, personally, myself as well, going through some really, really deep spiritual cleansing and spiritual stuff at the moment, or deep stuff at the moment to become better. And you're thinking, mate, I tell you right now, when people aren't aware and have no idea, and let's be honest, and there you go, people can crap shits as much as they want, but people got no frigging idea. I could just imagine where I am, and I'm thinking, how can people actually cope with this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is like, really, you're in the depths of your mind, in the depths of your inner child, and they talk about we go into inner child, mate. You go in there. I can actually, now that I'm in there, go, my God, when you're in there, man, and you become vulnerable, and when you become vulnerable, and when you really accept where you are and having a look and doing the Doctor Strange stuff, my God, mate, it is one hell of a ride. And I have to trust that doing what I did to take me to the multiverse. I'm just using words here because I know I don't want to get caught in the algorithm. Well, this is what we do. Getting caught in this multiverse now. You look at the other side, and as I said, the other side is exactly what Doctor Strange did. He became Doctor Strange. Every night I put a sage incense on before I go to bed.
Yeah, I do that.
Californian white sage.
Yeah.
So I do that. Yeah, I've noticed that. I think there's definitely that entity there. We'll talk about them in another episode. But there's definitely some. If you're susceptible, let's put it this way. You got the 7 deadly sins, right? So if you've got like an obsession or something like that, or something's, you got greed or something like that, you're susceptible. Your aura's damaged, right? So at this time we're going next level now, ladies and gentlemen. There's definitely, if you want to call about negative energy getting into your aura, if you're already damaged in that way, okay, if you already have damage, that can easily get in and affect you.
It's like lower hanging fruit. I like to use this term. You're kind of like a lower hanging fruit,
That's right. That's right.
They target people like that. That's what they already do on this planet.
That's right.
That's what's already being done. But
it's happening. It's happening. I know firsthand it's happening, and you can't prove it because people don't understand it. But it's definitely on the next level. If we all talk about what we're talking about spiritually and talking about the next level in the universe and source, we have to understand that there are those entities that can enter if you don't protect yourself, and especially when you've got those 7 deadly sins. They always joke about it, but I'm of the opinion now, and always have been, but really into the power that if you do that, you damage yourself, and you can be influenced by bad energy. We'll leave it at that. There's more to it. But let's say bad energy could affect you because you're already in that mindset where you're not in that, like you're obsessing or, you're greedy or what's the other one, sloth or whatever it is. If you're affected by one of those, and I saw it in a Charmed episode, I'm going back to TV, but my God, as Sarah said before, yes, it's connected. But if you understand that, and it takes a lot to understand it, what you do, because you get engulfed in it. And then your aura is done, and the way to get out of it is, the only way to get out of it, and you have the power, but people don't want to do it, is actually step out of it.
You've got to
do the work and step out of it, and you've got to have a safe space to do that.
Yeah.
So, and it's like opening up a box or going through gates or whatever it may be. There you go. Oh my God, I don't want to do it. It's too scary. But mate, you're getting affected. Your aura and your spirit is being affected because of the fact you've opened up to bad energy because of your obsession. Like you look at, if you eat too much, you're going to get. You're invited. You're invited. You go, let's come in and party with this person, right, and make their life hell. They don't realise that that's happening within them, because they've got that damage thing, and they go to all the healers and all that kind of shit. That's great, but as we've always said, and then now I believe even more when I've been where I am now, that you've got to go in and have a safe space where you can heal and have the people around you to catch you if you fall. It's really fun. Billy Idol song, "Catch My Fall." Mate, there's a synchronicity. There's a synchronicity right there. Catch my fall. You know what I mean? So there you go.
I think the same thing with addiction. I think that's how I can relate that. It's like negative. Like I open myself up to like all that stuff. Because why do you think those things are made to begin with? Why do you think you already know who's behind all that anyway? Like why it's even as on a mass level as it is. It's because, and even alcohol is called spirits. That's another thing, but alcohol's another one.
Yeah, we will.
We can go with the alcohol, but the drugs, like doing that all the time, I know I open myself up to a lot of stuff, and that's why when I've done some work with Sarah, there's some negative attachments. I mean, I did years and years of that kind of behavior, and not only that, but then you're also around people that are like that, have negative entities attached. I mean, you're hanging around those people that are using, dealing, whatever, and just that lifestyle, right? So you're already opening up that wide open. You're like, hey, because I mean, often during that, I felt like something took over. I mean, obviously that's what happens with addiction, but like, it was like, it's on like a spiritual level. Like I felt like depleted. I felt like my soul was like gone for a while,
Well, what Amy says too, the moment that you start engaging in these activities, the more you invite that into your field, the more you start to create holes in your field. Yeah. And the more holes you have in your field, the more space you're leaving for those entities and attachments to come in and create a home with you. And a lot of these entities and attachments come with a very heavy veil. And most of the time, the people that have them will deny, fight, argue with you and be like, no, I don't believe that. There's nothing there. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm who I've always been. This is me. You can't stop me or change me from doing the thing that I'm doing. That's usually the entity trying to keep its spot where it is with you. And I know this because I just had to do like an energy clearing on the house that I'm staying in right now. I had to get permission from the guy that owns the house, or is renting the house, who lives here full time, to do this session. But even just trying to convince him that it needed to be done was like pulling teeth. It was like, and I finally got him to say yes to it. And then when he did and it was done, like 2 days later, he's like, I finally woke up and I feel better than I've felt in months. And it's like, see, I knew there was something there. But it's like, I haven't really talked about it too much, but like I'm noticing like just a difference in like his demeanor, right? But like even just to be like, hey, I noticed something, like even me just trying to have that conversation, I was met with a defensive attitude. And it was like trying to stop me from paying any more notice to it. So it's like, yeah, like these entities, like they will create a stronghold on you and they will pull the veil over your eyes and make you think that you're fine. There is nothing there. And they will make you fight tooth and nail to avoid that session or to avoid that clearing or to avoid the help that will clear them away from you because they want your energy. They're all little.
I'll tell you what, Sarah, on that one, sorry to butt in. The first thing that came to me, it's basically, I joke around about, my love for comics and all that stuff, but the reason why I'm in that is because you got good versus evil. It's a spiritual battle in a lot of ways.
Spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual warfare in a lot of ways because we're doing what we're doing. And then, as I said, I go back to Charmed. It's exactly the same thing. You've got to run by universal law. You cannot go, as in the Doctor Strange movie, you got to go by universal law, no force. You got to, you stand up for what you believe in and what you need to do, and you have to step up when you need to. When something's out of it, you always stand up and defend, but you don't use it for personal gain. There's a lot of universal laws out there that all three of us, Cortez and Jackie and all of us, we know and we live by, but we don't actually say them, but we have to live by them. And and there'll be a moment in your life that will be. There's a lot of moments in your life that will make you change. Okay, I can write them down, but there'll be one moment when you actually step into, like we're actually stepping through the door to be this warrior, be this He-Man or Wonder Woman, whatever it may be, and to help us free ourselves, but also help free others. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on our talk show, Life Theories. We're better than The View. Yeah, that's
That's
why
for
it
sure.
is.
You know,
I love that.
yeah,
I got
wow.
more.
Can that just be our slogan? Better than the View?
Yeah, dude, that would be great.
I'm better
We
than The
could start
View.
promoting it like that. I could start putting, yeah. I think we need to get
Let's
some
do
Don't
traction.
that.
tempt me.
Oh my God, yes,
Don't
please.
tempt me. I'm better than them, but anyway, we are. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are better than The View, ladies and gentlemen. How's that? I'd like to say a big shout out to Cortez Medford over in England, Spiritual Needs TV, my beautiful co-host and my soul family, Diana from Trailblazers of the Universe. Pick her up on any type of social media, doing a great job, and a big shout out to her partner as well, who's really getting involved here. I can already feel it. Shane, if I'm correct, thanks very much for being involved and being
You got
part
the
of our
name right,
family.
Jay. Good job. You're getting better with your names,
Bloody-
man. You didn't have Sarah's thing down for a while.
Yeah, I wonder why. Anyway, we've got small Sarah Big Soul over in the great state of Vancouver, over in Canada. Check her out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We've also got myself, Journey of a White Feather, on every other platform, especially TikTok these days. I want to do a big shout out to Jackie Lyons, who we will be doing our own podcast about. I'm going to say it, the denial word, twin flame. Right, we're going to be talking about that. Look
He
out.
said it, ladies
Gosh,
and gentlemen.
Jay
I'm
He
gonna
really
said
see
hates
my
that
friend.
word, and I'm
He
just
used the
sitting here
word.
like,
Well,
wow.
I don't look like, okay, we'll talk about my denial.
I
in
can't
a
believe
minute, but
I
anyway,
doubted it, and I'm being like,
I
my
don't
face
doubt
right
it.
now.
I'm bloody scared of it.
I'm smashing my face
just
right
like-
now with that. I can't believe that I
Yeah,
doubt.
I'm bloody,
I've been
bloody. I mean, we hear at least twin flame thing, but it's believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it's a journey that you'll never ever forget. Anyway, so I'll be on with Jackie in a few weeks on TikTok talking about this journey about twin flames very, very soon. So she is on Jackie Soul Stories and myself on Journey of a White Feather. And also we'll give a big shout out to Solomon King. Okay, he comes on as our special guest like a Heather Locklear, like we're at Melrose Place. He'll be on the next few weeks talking about guides. And yes, I'm talking absolute garbage now. But anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week. Laughing is the best form of healing.
It really is.
And remember, always take care of yourself. The veil's down. Make sure you ascend like Doctor Strange. Be the best part
Protect
of yourself.
your energy right
Go
now
with the
more
flow.
than ever. Yep.
The
Check out
energy's
those
up.
Steve
Trust
Nobel
in the
movies.
universe. Trust in yourself, and always be your best self. We'll take care, and we'll catch you soon. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Like, share, subscribe, smash all the buttons.
Smash those
And
buttons, ladies
comment.
and gentlemen.
Yes.
Comment.
Yeah, comment too. We like
Ask us
commenting.
questions. Let us know what you think about what we're talking about.